That was the day so far. Hello and welcome to Closing Bell, live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Reema Tendulkar. With me are Surabhi Upadhyay, Nigel D'Souza in the studio, and we've got Mangalam Maloo in the newsroom. Afternoon, Surabhi, Nigel and Mangalam, and a late afternoon decline takes the Nifty down to levels of 17,600. Till about 1 p.m., the markets were trading in a very tight band of just about 50 points. Suddenly, you had that sell-off, and the Nifty went below 17,600, and now it's trying to find its feet. Mid-caps too, which were holding fort in the green, suddenly took a leg down. The mid-cap index is now flat. It's given up all its morning gains, and the advanced decline ratio too has completely evened out. You've got one stock in the green for one in the red. The problem is IT. So if the sell-off over the last couple of days wasn't enough, IT has taken another leg lower. The Nifty IT index is down 1.7%. with names like HCL Tech taking a bit of a blow ahead of its numbers tomorrow post-market hours. HCL Tech is down close to about 2%. So since there is some nervousness going into numbers, I just want to put up on the table that since the beginning of the earnings season, that's pre-TCS numbers, HCL Tech and TCS have both fallen about 5%, while Infosys has seen a fall of close to about 13.5%. So the sense is that if there is a moderate miss on expectations, something like what TCS had delivered, then perhaps it's already in the price, because since the beginning of the earnings season, the stock has already fallen 5%, similar to TCS. But if we have a miss as bad as in the case of Infosys, then there could be further, leg down. And of course, if there is a positive surprise, given the levels that we are at and the sell-off, there could be case for a bounce back. Divi's Laboratories is one stock which stands out on the way up. What a move on the stock. 2.5% up today, 5% this week, 18.5% for the month. So there is this clear heightened interest in pharmaceutical names, and buying is emerging in many of them today.
But before Nigel, I toss it to you, I just want to ask you for what levels you're looking at, because the only thing that I noticed in the market that really caught my eye was when we breached yesterday's lows and the Monday low as well. But from there's been a bit of a bounce, though. As Reema's pointing out, IT is still under pressure. So in terms of levels and trends, what's on your radar today?
Well, it's very, very important that the Nifty holds on to that 17,500 to 17,550. That's why every time we are seeing, the Nifty go closer to around 17,570 odd, which is close to today's low, you're seeing a bit of a bounce. We saw a couple of days back as well. But that's a crucial level, 17,550 to around 17,500 odd. We seem to be in a bit of a consolidation because we've got big numbers that are coming later this week. That's ICICI Bank as well as Reliance Industries. So for the time being, you want Nifty to hold on to the lower band and hopefully results turn in our favor. Now, the big outperformer has been the Nifty Bank, and that's finding resistance at around 42,500 odd. Yesterday, we went to bank to that mark, and in fact, we saw a bit of a U-turn. Today as well, just looking at the options data, there is resistance that's coming in at that level. Now, the 17,700 call, just pull that up. Just take a look at the open interest built up. Close to 2 crore shares odd. I've not seen that in a very, very long while. Today as well, more than 50 lakh shares getting added out there, and close to 2 crore shares in terms of open interest, giving you a sense that the bears, they believe that 17,800 odd is not going to cross. At least that's the way they're positioned. So let's get straight to the levels then. Support levels, as I told you, 17,500, 17,550. At lower levels, you're looking at the 50 as well as the 200 DMA. On the Nifty Bank, till it holds on to that 100 DMA, the bulls will feel they are with a chance, because the Nifty IT index is not performing. But as long as the Nifty Bank can hold on to that level, which is close to around 400 points away from these levels, then you'll feel that you're in with a chance, Surabhi. But you're watching a whole host of stocks, I believe.
I am, because I was looking at the mid-cap market. Yesterday, at least the mid-cap market was really vibrant and buoyant, and that's missing today. So to start off with, let's just pull up the market breadth, because you have sort of a situation where it's even Steven right now. The mid-cap index is not showing any kind of a flare. We'll pull up the small-cap index as well. Advanced decline ratio is absolutely in step. 1,418 advances, 1,446 declining. The lines are now crisscrossing with the bears kind of taking over. That's small-cap index. So no overarching flare in the mid-cap market, but you look closely enough, you'll always find pockets of action. And today, for me, the stocks that really caught my eye were all the rice exporters. Been talking to Manisha about this as well. This global deficit, a 20-year high deficit that's playing out in the global markets, and that means that Indian exporters will really benefit, because for us production is pretty much in sync, and that is the reaction that stock prices are showcasing for the time being. But Mangalam, very range bound. What trends are you noticing?
extremely range bound. For most part of the day, the Nifty was stuck to 17,650 as if, they had Pidilite holding all of it. But a lot of the straddle writers, which is basically call and put writers, were holding on to 17,650 as their important fulcrum. And if you just take a look at the combined premium for both these options, you would see for about 100 rupees, the street was bracing itself for this range of 17,600 to 17,700. And should 17,600 go lower, we were expecting some support at the 200-day moving average, and that's exactly what played out. The couple of things that we'll be watching out for now as we move towards close is how the mid-cap index performs, mainly because it's also the weekly options expiry of the mid-cap index. And secondly, a lot of individual stocks doing extremely well. You guys spoke about a few of them, but right now I'm noticing all the oil and gas companies doing extremely well. All the oil marketing companies in particular, BPCL, IOC, both of them at the high point of trade, joined by HPCL, so that's doing well. And a couple of other players as well, from the non-pharmaceutical end of things, doing extremely well, and some of them belong to the MDF space. So something like Green Panel Industries has been a big mover. We have, Rushil Decor, another one which is up around 11%. These belong to the home building and MDF space. And of course, we are seeing a big move in a couple of these pharmaceutical names too. Gland Pharma up 16%. So